Dun, 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 uns, 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 uns. Hello, my loves. Checking in. Let's check and see where we're at. Here you come. Here you come. Welcome, everybody. Woohoo! We're here for another girls' night in party. So if you've been here a couple times, you know the drill, but I'm just going to roll with it and tell you what we're doing. So you're welcome on the side. You'll see a chat box. Pop in there and let us know where you're from. Let's see here. I'm going to say where I'm from. I'm from Waimea, Hawaii. Yay! And I always like to see where you're coming from. We have people that like to, our night owls over in Europe and our morning people in Australia. Texas, Boston, Canada, Pennsylvania. Welcome, Toronto, New Mexico. Barry from Norway. We've got Kimberly from Fort Worth, Diane, Kitty, y'all from New Orleans, Canada, London, Ontario, Boston, Massachusetts, Silicon Valley. Yes. Nova Scotia, Canada. Good morning, Kat in Sydney, Pennsylvania. Susanna from the UK. Aloha. Welcome, everybody. So happy to have you. Surrey, UK. Oh, you are just staying up because you're like, I'm going to really make it a party tonight. Greetings from Florida, Minnesota. I love seeing you here. If you see me popping over here, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Don't mind me. I want to make sure we don't miss anything. So, a couple logistic things. If you haven't been on the party line before, there is a 30-second delay. So, between when I'm speaking and between when you're able to respond to me, just know there's a 30-second delay. So, just saying. Yes, Lori, I love that you put a pretty dress on, especially on this hot New Zealand summer day. Yeah, how's the weather where everybody's at? And I don't mean to rub it in for people who are, you know, in very cold weather right now. I've heard it's very cold. It's actually kind of muggy and cloudy today. It was beautiful, sunny, and then it got a little bit cloudy. And yeah, I put on some party clothes too. See, I'm wearing this pretty shirt here. I've got these fancy dancy pants here. See, woohoo! Got a slit in the side. They're ready for my party clothes today. Rainy snowstorms. Beautiful in Austin, Texas. Awesome. So just kind of how this goes, I'd love to, you guys can keep popping in the chat, but I'm just going to give you kind of the information. First of all, supplies that you'll need for today, a piece of paper, some either colored pens or markers or crayons, colored pencils, something like that. What else did I say? Pencil, pen. Optional was glitter and glue stick, and yeah, some clothing that we can move around that you're comfortable in. So that's going to be it for that. So to the format, what we're running is we're going to be doing I'm going to share quickly about me. Some of you don't know me, and you're like, who is this lady? So I'm going to share with you about that. I'm going to do a teaching. We're going to do an art project with a dance break, and there was a request for hula, so yes, we will be doing hula. Can I get a yay for those ladies that wanted me to do some hula? We're gonna do just a little bit because hello, we're virtual, we're online, but we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna like take my aloha spirit and just poof it to you over wherever you're at in the world, and we'll all be hula dancing. It's gonna be amazing at the same time. And then at the end, I have something special to offer, so you want to stay on till the end. Ready? Yay! Chrissy, nice to see you. Anna, Marsha. Yay, hula! I know, exactly. Who is it? I forget who it was. There was someone in our group that says, I'm gonna wear a flower lei, just, you know, just so that she'd be in the spirit of it all. Yay. Okay, so are we ready? Yes, let's get rolling. So the first thing you know that I like to do is to do a grounding practice to get us really here and present. So I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Another deep breath in and out. And each time you breathe, I want you to imagine just kind of sinking more and more into your seat or into your chair. Another deep breath in and out. And our first breath, we're going to breathe in deeply, and I want you to think of anything that has come up before this party. Any distracting thoughts, things that have happened earlier in the day or maybe earlier this week, things that are just taking up space in your energetic space. So I want you to breathe in and imagine as you exhale those just releasing and melting right off of you. Melting off. Take another deep breath in, and anything that's going to happen after this that you're thinking about or worried about or is occupying space and energy, exhale and let that go. And our third deep breath together. This present moment, you and me together. You ready? I feel better. Every time I do my deep breaths, I always feel like so much more magic. Isula from Germany, it's so nice to see you. And Britt from Mount Shasta, welcome. So just briefly about me, for those that know me, you might know a little bit more about me after this. The reason I want to share this is because a couple things. One is it's important to kind of know who you're learning from, why you should be listening to me, or not. You might just not think that's important. But I think sometimes when we get in relationship, when we get to, online events, we're doing different things, you might not know certain things about me. So here's my little information things to get to know me. One is I'm an internationally collected award-winning artist, and this is my brag. So this is just letting you know this is uncomfortable for me to do this because I'm bragging about myself. Normally on interviews, like someone else says this. So yeah. Within 2 years of actually picking up paintbrush for the first time, I had my own solo show. I had sold over $10,000 in artwork, and I was leading painting workshops. So that is my background in art. I've grown my following. So if you're part of my Creative Ohana, you're part of over 12,000 women from around the world who join me and who are dedicated to awakening their creativity and tapping into their intuition and their feminine spirit. Yes. I've hosted over 20,000 women through online events and hundreds of women through live retreats where we do painting, hula, and art journaling, all sorts of different things to help you tap inward. That's part of my resume. I've run a 7-figure company. I started 4 businesses as an entrepreneur, and I work in Hawaii. I live here and I work like 4 hours a day, and then I do mom stuff. Like after I get off the call, I'm gonna go to my son Bodhi's classroom. It's Dr. Seuss Day, and so everyone's doing Dr. Seuss stuff, so I gotta read a Dr. Seuss book. So I'm gonna do that and pick them up from school. So I'm also a mom, 2 young boys. I got a rockin' husband who's a executive business coach, and I like to do hula, swim with dolphins, and that's about me. I'm spiritual, but I also am I'm real. So just saying, if I shock you, sorry. Yay, I'm glad that you guys are connecting over there, Lynn and Tess from Kansas. All right, so our invitation today, last time when we did our Girls Night In, our practice was it was about fun and it was about time, right? Looking at where we spend our time and how to start making choices on our time based on what we really, really want. And so that was our practice last time. And this time, it's all about connecting to your soul. Hi, Jackie from Texas. So there's no interrupting. There's no interrupting. And I'm sorry if I'm bothering you because I go back in and out of the chat because I can just get so distracted by y'all because I love you and this is like my real life connection to you. So today, soul purpose. Now, when I was thinking about what I wanted to look at today, this came to me because, well, there are a couple reasons, but I was thinking about how I started my journey. And I was thinking about, when I was younger, I thought like, okay, I really want to know what I'm supposed to do with my life. This feeling of like, once I have the thing, it's like, oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I remember feeling that all through college, getting my degree, and even afterwards, I was looking at all these different options. There were so many different options, and I thought, okay, if I could just find the right job, then I'd be set. It was like that I'd be on the path. And I think I'm not the only one who's felt this way, right? That it's like, okay, if I just get this right job, I'm going the right direction. But the thing that happened is that, like, life doesn't happen that way. It's not that I found the right job, I made the money, and then I bought my house, and I had my husband, I had my kids, which I did. I did that path. And then one day I woke up and I was like, whoa, like, where is the fun? And where is the joy? And where is my spirit? And so that is when I'm talking about purpose, we're going soul purpose. We're not talking about like your job today. We're going a little deeper. So I want you to think about and I'd love for you to type in the chat box, what is soul purpose to you? Right? The word's getting thrown around a lot. We hear it in online circles and different events, soul purpose. And part of this inquiry is for you to think about, what makes that different than your regular purpose? What is that for you? So for me, when I looked at purpose, because I break up the word, right? Purpose to me was about like this feeling of like, I know what I'm doing. All right, Tess, she says, soul purpose is about doing that which feels like it calls you, the thing you can't not do. Yes, yes. Marcia, allowing my soul to lead my decisions. Kitty, what speaks to your heart makes your soul sing. Jackie, I'm not sure, but I think it's what my soul needs me to do. This is so beautiful. This is juicy. Natalie, how can I help others while helping myself? That's beautiful. Mary, what I was created to bring into the world. Lori, discovering and being who I really am. Jean, that fire in your belly that when you address it, you're more alive. Yes. Okay. So you guys, I've got a juicy group here, I can tell. I love you. Totally agree. Totally agree. For me, there's a difference between purpose as far as feeling, if I feel purposeful or I feel like I'm doing something, it's like it's a good feeling. But soul purpose is different. Soul purpose is deeper. I'm going to read a little bit more. What brings meaning and joy to my spirit? What brings joy in your heart? Gifts you can share in the world. The path that opens as a result of self-healing. Soul purpose linked to your regular purpose. It gives a direction and energy to your sail. I think it's having serenity, peace of mind, and quietness. Awesome. Yes. So see, there's all sorts of different ideas of what this is, but what I'm finding the common thread is it's a listening. It's an internal compass instead of an external compass. So when I was thinking of my purpose when I was in college, it was very external, right? It was all about getting the right job, getting the right man, getting the right house, all of those things, because I thought that those things would make me happy. And what I'm finding is that soul purpose is really about your growth, like as a human being. This isn't about a career, it's about your soul and what it's asking for you or calling you to. It's inviting you towards. For me, I've done lots of different things. I've read some of my background. I've done, I ran a 6-figure business. I have done retail management. I've done high-tech marketing. I've been a mom. I ran a I ran several different businesses on the side on my own. I've been an artist. I'm a guide. But through all those things, there's like a thread that runs through them. And this is the purpose piece. It's the piece that when I am in it, I feel really alive. And for me, that has to do with creativity, has to do with spirituality, and has to do with growth. Those are things that like make my soul go, sing! I'm so happy to be doing them. But one thing I want to address is the myth that soul purpose is like easy peasy. Like, it's like something that you can do with your eyes closed or something like that. I think soul purpose is different than like your natural talents or gifts. I think there's some of that, but like, for example, as an artist, when I started getting my work out, like I was doing stuff I was totally scared to do, right? Like to walk, I remember I was so scared. Like my heart was thumping when I walked into the first gallery I walked into. And I was like, well, first of all, I was totally scared to bring my portfolio. I was like, I couldn't even bring myself to do that, right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna go in and I'm going to just talk to them and, you know, be like, so if there was an artist that was maybe looking at hanging their artwork, what did they have to do, right? So I was trying to play it all cool, but like, you know, they all knew that I was the artist trying to figure it out. And they said, oh, you bring in your portfolio, we look it over, all that kind of stuff, you know? But I was terrified. I was so scared to bring my work because I thought they're going to see it and they're going to be like, what if they don't like it? What if they don't like my work and they're like, sorry, your stuff's not good enough or your stuff's not going to sell? Or, you know, it's like all of those things I was scared of. And yet I knew I was supposed to put my work out. So there's this inquiry I want you to be in when you're thinking about purpose, that it's not necessarily easy, that our soul work in the world. It can be some of the hardest work we do. Because I believe we're meant to grow our soul. And if it's easy, we're not going to grow. Oh, I wish it wasn't that way. I'm going to read a little bit what you're doing. Allowing my inner light to shine on the action I take, doing something you do even if you didn't get paid for it. Who you are more than what you do. Yes, Mary. Fills you up, invites growth. When I'm in it, my art, and it goes away, I start over again, like for my art to be continuous thread. Fulfilled beingness. That's really interesting, Ursula. I like that. To heal from anything that wasn't love so I can be love. Beautiful. So we're going to kind of play in this realm today, okay? In the purpose space. So one thing that I want to say about purpose is that one way that I started discovering it was I noticed in my body when I felt like really like my inner yum. And I would have moments where I would really feel that. I'd feel completely alive. And that gave me a hint to my soul purpose. And it wasn't just about being happy, but it was like I actually am talking about sensations in your body. Like my body, like my heart would be like expanding and my chest would feel open. I'd feel very light and I'd feel alive, my most alive in those, when I was really tapping into those spaces. So I want you to, we're going to kind of tune inwards. We're going to do a little visualization, visioning. Before we do our art, you know my process. But before we do that, I just want you to let you know that this isn't just like a head process or a spirit process, but that our body gives us the information. Our body tells us when we are alive. And there are moments, you know, when we know it's the right step we're supposed to take, or we know the direction we're supposed to go. And just like before when I was saying soul purpose, how like sometimes it's not always nice. Sometimes it's not always like, oh, like I remember, and if you know me well, you've heard this before, but many of like my most important, biggest, best things I've ever done came with a feeling of like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna throw up. Like that's how I felt before I published my first blog post, before I had my first women's circle, before I hired my first business coach. I was like, I'm gonna throw up. Like that feeling of like, this is too much. And then, you know, of course, once I did that, I was like, you know, so excited and pumped up and that I had done it. But sometimes those decisions aren't like all beautiful and butterflies and expansion. It's like you hit that outer point, you're like, oh, ah. So, okay. Kitty, getting in that zone. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so are we ready for a little visualization action happening? Let's see. Yes, 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 yes. In the fields. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and have your piece of paper ready or your journal. So afterwards you can just, you know, we can roll. Have your markers, your crayons, your pen, and make yourself at home. Get yourself comfy. So closing your eyes. I'm taking a couple deep breaths in and out. And on this journey, we're going to go ahead and go back and look at the moments that you felt most alive. That you felt most connected to your soul. So I want you to imagine at the top of your head that you start descending down that spiral staircase. And if you can't see it in your mind's eye, I want you to use your other senses. So maybe feeling your hand along the wall or hearing the steps as you walk down the steps. Imagining yourself descending out of your head into deeper wisdom. You're passing your throat and coming into your chest. Until you stop at the doorway of your heart. And you may have been here before. If you've been here before, I want you to notice if anything has changed. And if this is your first time, I want you to notice what the doorway looks like, its shape, and the material it's made out of. Notice if there are any messages. And so slowly, when you're ready, you push open the door. And on the other side, you see mountains with snow and a beautiful meadow before you. And up ahead of you, you can see a stream. You see the glints of the light off the stream. And so you walk forward through the meadow towards the stream. And when you reach the stream, you start walking alongside of it, just following it up towards the mountains, listening to the sounds of the water over the rocks. You follow the stream up even higher until you reach a lake. And it's so glassy and clear that you can see the reflection of the sky in the water. And the air smells so crisp. And you notice by the side of the lake, there's a boat beached on the side. And so you slowly push the boat into the water and hop in. And the boat takes you for a ride. You don't need to paddle. It carries you forward. And you listen to the waves lapping against the side of the boat. And you notice as the boat starts to get towards the other side of the lake, that there's a cave there. The boat heads towards the cave, enters it. You can hear the drips of the water in the cave. And the boat finally stops at a ledge of rock. And so you get off on the rock. And you continue walking along the edge. And you can see up ahead there's like light coming ahead. You can see it. And so you head that direction. And when you get there, it opens up into a giant cavern. And inside are beautiful crystals. And as you're looking through the cavern in wonder, you hear someone, and from your side comes your wise one. You recognize her, and you know that she has your best interest at heart. You know that she's the one that helps connect you to your soul. She tells you, this is a magical cavern. And in this space, each crystal holds a connection for you. It holds a moment when you are in your bliss, a moment when you are living your soul work. And she says, all you have to do is to go up to the crystal and put your hand on it, and you'll remember that moment. And so you walk through this crystal garden, and one by one, you put your hand on it and you wait for that memory to come. And so you go through the garden, collecting these memories. And I want you to feel, as you're going through these memories, I want you to feel your body, to sense how it's feeling right now. Sense how you feel when you're in bliss, when you're connected to your soul. And when you're ready, you turn and walk back towards your wise woman. And she hands something to you. And it's a necklace made out of different crystals. And she says, these are those memories, so you can have them and carry them with you. And remember. And so you put it on, and as you put it on, you feel when it touches your skin, almost that it brands your body, that your body feels alive and connected. That it's like your soul speaks to you through this necklace. You thank her and turn back out, grateful for what you're bringing back with you. You walk back along the edge where you find the boat waiting for you. You climb aboard where it takes you back out through the cave, along the Great Lake to the other side, the mouth where the stream begins. Walking along the stream, through the meadow, back to the doorway of your heart. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in and opening your eyes. And what I want you to do is to just take your pen and on one side of paper, write whatever you want of the experience that happened for you. I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to just jot it down. And you're also welcome to share in the chat box, share some of the things that came to you in that visioning. Before we move on to our creativity piece, And if you ever forget, you can always close your eyes and go back to that space to get more information. Braun, oh my gosh. Okay, so Braun, when you put the necklace on, a huge bolt of lightning struck near your house and your car alarm went off. I think that is pretty amazing. Your soul is like, awesome. Lucy, your connection dropped out, so you had a connection started. A grad, Department of Psychology. I have a terrible feeling it's the wrong thing. Rightness and bliss are not with me. Yeah, we're gonna let's get through this creative process and see if that shifts it all for you. Kitty, my wise one took the form of a fairy with sparkling wings. Love it. Kitty, the camera was very bright but cool, and I could hear melodic musical notes. That's beautiful. I love how everyone's vision is just so different, just like our soul, right? Okay, so you can continue writing if you're in that space. You can write in the chat box, share that space with us. And we're going to do a little bit of movement, right? Dance break, hula dance break. So, Talia, you heard a voice telling me to make this necklace. Beautiful. Your people and my people were in cahoots. So part of, some of the dance breaks we've done earlier have been like kind of to dance out the energy and to shake it out, let it go, to get a little crazy and have fun. And this is about fun too, but a different type of fun. So for me, one of the things I love about hula is the connection to the earth and the connection to the elements. And when I think of soul purpose, there's two different things that I think about. One is when I'm rooted in my soul purpose, there's that feeling, and also the going with the flow. So there's like that masculine side and the feminine side, which hula does both. So today we're going to play a little bit with the flow energy of hula. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just reading your stuff, writing, scribing. Your vision, Chrissy. High in the mountains, the monk. That sounds fun. Mary. Sadness. I love that your wise one said that it was all right and that she gave you this beautiful necklace. Bright with lots of sparkling. Very well. It was sparkling before, so just know that those are there and that you might still need to be waiting on those memories to come to you, but they were already sparkling, so they were already there. Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of a camera action here. So at my studio. So in hula, what I love about hula is, you've seen like the hula dancers, right? They've got like the hands moving, like the ocean, and they move their bodies like waves. And so today, when we're talking about soul purpose, part of what we need to do is to flow with the wisdom we get. It isn't to fight that information, it's to flow with her. So we're going to do a little bit of movement of hula inspired by the ocean, okay? All right, so I'm going to stand up here so you can see a little bit what I'm doing. I'm turning the camera so you can see, and actually I'm going to keep it down a little bit so you can see my hips. Okay, here's my hips. So what I'm going to have you do is I want you just to plant your feet on the ground, like I mentioned, and have them about hip width apart, maybe a little bit closer. And I want you to bend your knees a little bit so you're kind of sitting in a chair, but you're not. And I want you to imagine your hips just moving and feel the sway side to side. And I want you to imagine like ocean waves moving in and out. And this is called the O. So you can see my hip. So my hips go side to side. I push my hip out, but I let it flow. Side to side. K, yes, we are. And then I'm going to play the drum, and I want you, if you can, just to close your eyes and to feel and to hear the beat. Feel the sway. I want you to feel your feet pushing into the ground, pushing, and feel that ground at the heel coming down and up. I'm gonna bring the camera down so you can see my feet. Woo, we're really coming down here. Oh, find my feet. Here's my feet here. So, we're working with cameras today, ladies, for those that want hula. So the feet are coming up. I want you to notice my heels coming up, 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 up. And so the heel goes down, I push my hip out, down, out. So feel, I want you to imagine like water shifting from side to side. Feel that flow. All right, last two. Just stand tall. And I want you to just sense your body right now. After that flowing back and forth, whether that felt good for you or off for you, I just want you to sense. All right. When you're ready, you can sit down. I'd love to hear what you thought of our short little hula session. The O, I'm going to type that in so you can see how we say it. It's called an O, like an O. Wasn't that fun? Yes! Thanks, Chris. I love my pants too. My husband bought them for me. We went on a date and he got them and I love them. Okay. So you can go ahead and type in there what you got from the hula, and especially if there's something that you didn't like, or there's both, right? You might have thought like, oh, that was so good. I felt the movement. I felt connected to the earth. There's also the information like, I didn't really feel anything. I felt out of connection. I felt out of rhythm, because that right there is information for you as well. How do you connect to flow? And what feels good for you? And what feels awkward for you? And what can your information in your body, just by dancing, how does that reflect in your life? Okay? You want to go on? I know, we should just do a whole hula. Wouldn't that be fun? Yes, exactly, exactly. Okay, so my loves, let's go ahead and we're gonna do our art project, which is connecting to our necklace. Ah. So what I want you to do is you can go ahead and draw your necklace. However you have it, you can use your markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything you want, whatever colors, shapes, sizes, any of that. And then after you do that, you can, I'm gonna give you the next step, okay? Chris, yeah, wearing the wrong shoes. Yeah, Chris, I know. In Hawaii, that's why we don't wear shoes. We go barefoot. Though there are people that do hula in high heels, and they are amazing. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to give you a minute or two. I'm going to tilt my camera down so you can see what I'm doing. And I want you to, of course, do it your own way. And that's not the color. And when you draw your crystals on, if you have specific memories or things that you want to label on them, you can totally do that. You can write it in, or you cannot. You can just leave it the way it is. I'm thinking of some of the things that came to me. I'm going to write in there. It was interesting for me. I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but for me, when I had memories, it was like memories of things in the past, and it was like stuff, it felt like kind of stuff in the future too. Like stuff that hadn't quite happened yet. It felt like a little bit of both. You might notice for me, I'm using actually pens that that bleed a bit. When you add water to them, they're not, oh, what's the word? I forget. But anyways, you put water to it and it kind of runs. I'm kind of having fun with that. Just adding some water. And then I'm going to invite you. Oh, Carolyn Braun, yeah. If you had a connection, if you had problems with the feed, we're going to have the replay so you can go back and look at it. So if that's something you'd like to do. I know technology can sometimes just be pooey. So then I'm going to want you to, there's some way to connect your necklace. So whatever that chain looks like for you. And actually, my person wants me to draw her in, so I'm going to draw her neck in. And as you're adding in the chain, I want you to ask yourself, what is this chain? Or what is the piece that connects these together? And you may not know. It's like, don't worry about getting it right. This is more just about an inquiry. What's coming to you? And so for me, when I look at these pieces, there's a couple of things that kind of connect. That are giving me hints of like what my purpose really is. And so for me, it's around teaching and about connection, creation, and spirituality. Those are kind of the things that are kind of, coming through. Thank you, water soluble. This is what I got. There's my neck and some of my things. And then once you have that done, then you're welcome to doodle, create anything you'd like to continue on. And I would love to hear what came up for you. Da, 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 da. That's interesting, Lucy. Yeah, there's information in all of this. So whatever I'm doing here, like there isn't a right or a wrong for all you A students out there that were like, I didn't do this right. We can let all that go because this is, whenever we do this visualization, intuitive creativity, there's going to be, we're just kind of going with it. We're going with spirit. And sometimes spirit just doesn't make sense to the head. All right. So as you're looking at these different things, I want you just to notice, what the connection points are. So for me, I said, part of my soul purpose I mentioned is creativity, is spirit, is growth. Those are all, things in here for me. And I'm very clear that my work in the world is definitely with women. I love my kids, but they're not in my soul work per se. So I want to look at then now from this perspective of what makes your soul sing, what are you doing now? Like, you all either have work or things that you're doing in your life, places that don't feel yummy, that don't feel necessarily good, or places that you're like, oh yeah, this is actually my soul work, but this is my work, right? You keep it very separate. So my invitation for you and this inquiry for this week is, how can you bring in some of these pieces into the other parts? Okay. And by doing that, you're going to start bringing more bliss in. So for me, a lot of my stuff has to do with fun and laughter and connection. Like those are the feelings that I have, right? So I'm thinking of, how can I bring fun, laughter, and connection in when I'm doing homework with my kids? Like one of my least favorite things that I used to do. I didn't like doing homework when I was a kid. I don't like doing my kids' homework now. But one of the things that we do is a dance break. When things get like crazy and the kids are like, had it and I've had it, I'm like, that's it, dance break. And we throw on music and we dance it out, and it feels good. And it's like, that's like a touch point for me. That's one of those crystals that's like, oh, that's a little moment that I'm creating. So seeing, how can you bring in your joy, bring in your soul work into what you're doing? Okay. Oh my gosh, Lori, you had an earthquake? Wait, Lori, did you also have no, who was the one that had the lightning? Okay, we've had an earthquake, we've had lightning. I'm looking around. I'm like, this is crazy, y'all. So funny out there. Okay. So that's the first piece, is I want you to be an inquiry of how you can bring this into life. So if you have questions, you can go ahead and put in the chat box. If you're like, oh, I don't quite know how this fits in, put it in and I'll see if I can help you. The second thing is, what I like to do is I look at these things, what I consider my soul work or my soul purpose, and then I like to create, or I like to choose a soul purpose project. Okay, because soul purpose can be like, it's so huge, right? So what is something that you can like narrow down that can be something that you can just focus on, right? So for example, if you are into creativity and you're like, you know what, I'm going to focus on doing this one painting, that might be your soul purpose project, because it like lights up your soul and it's part of your project. It could be that you're an entrepreneur and you're like, you know what, my soul purpose project is my business. That's my soul purpose project, is my business. And right now it's working on my next phase of my business. That's part of my soul purpose project, is like, how can I serve more people in a different way, right? It could be if you are a healer or you're someone else who wants to start leading workshops, your soul purpose project could be like, okay, this workshop, I'm gonna get this out there. Okay, so it's looking at, what is your soul calling you to? How does it weave in with these gifts and these juicy memories that you had? And then, okay, what's something that we can start moving towards? And instead of it being such a big thing, or that like, oh, I have to quit the job or leave the husband, or make these huge choices and like completely shifting everything, how can you break it down into a project that you can focus on and start working on in small bits? You get what I'm saying here? Let's get a yes if you understand what I'm saying, or question mark if you're still unsure. And if you're unsure, just give me a question so I can explain it a little bit better, okay? So I'd love for you to share in the box what your soul purpose project is, if you were to have one. If you don't know what one is, if you did know what it is, what would you put in? That's like a coaching thing. And I'd also love for you to share what, oh, good. Good, I'm so glad you understand me. See, you're gonna laugh because you're gonna get the whole delay thing now. I feel so it's created art, bliss, but never think having a financial outcome. Yeah, and that's true too, Thinking about, Lucy, I felt the same way. When I first started my art, it was totally about me and my bliss. And I knew that by creating art, I was a happier person. I was a better mom. I was nicer. And then it came to a point where I felt my soul was calling me to share it. So that was my journey with my work. My work of the year is inspire, connection, innocence, play, and love. Those are beautiful. Honor your skill of listening. Start painting. Yes. Yes. Start silent wisdom meditation groups. That's beautiful, Diane. Girls group, art and painting. Okay, I'm getting chicken skin reading all this. I'm actually getting teary-eyed because I'm thinking of, all the lives of people that are waiting for you. I'm thinking of the girls that are waiting for you, Chrissy, and I'm thinking of Diane, the women who are needing meditation to chill out and to slow down. So, beautiful women, beautiful. All right. So, and last piece is the surprise. Da, 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 da. So today is the day that the doors officially open to my Productive Creativity Program. So if you've been on my website, you know I do a program once a year. It's like, my once a year-long mentorship program. I just finished it up with my other beloveds, and now I'm opening it up to you. So I want to share really quickly what it's about and just to give you some information, okay? Is that okay? Good. So we are doing a couple things in it. We are connecting you to your soul purpose project, and we're tackling the 4 areas that stop you from actually getting your work out there in the world. So this is for artists, writers, teachers, healers, entrepreneurs, successful driven women that like overwork themselves and need to chill out and have some fun. It's for you guys. It's for you if you don't know your soul purpose and you want to, you're like, I don't know what it is. It's for you if you have uncertainty and you can't get started, or you're waiting for the right time or the right credentials to actually get you started. It's for you if you start projects and stop them. You do the whole start, stop thing. Or maybe you've got the shiny object syndrome where you start a project and then you're like, oh, this is fun. And you go over here and you're like, oh, this is fun. And you never actually complete anything. It's for y'all. If you're in that category, that was me for a while. It's also for you if you're busy and driven and need more feminine flow into your life. That's what it's for. It's not for you if you are living to paycheck. Okay, this is an investment. It's investment in time and in resources for you. It's also not for you if you're looking for technical art instruction. We're going to be doing painting, we're going to be doing art journaling, and I give you instructions during that point, but this isn't about fine art technique, okay? This is different. And it's also not for you if you're looking for a step-by-step business course. I do strategy with you where I actually lay out what's good for you, but I'm not going to give you step-by-step on how to do your website. That's something that we could private coach on, but it's not part of the program. So it's a combination of private coaching and group teaching and support. We have a live retreat here in Hawaii where we will be hula-ing, and then we also do online support, and I do one-on-one work with you. So it's an amazing group, super fun, and it's meant to help you get your work out into the world. Yay! So I'm putting the button up right now so you can check it out. Dun, 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 dun. And the last part is that, da, da, da. There we go. Thank you. Da, 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 da. Last part is that I do it by application. So you can go ahead, check it out, fill out the application, and whether you decide if it's good for you or not, it's a really great experience to fill out the application. You're going to definitely learn something about yourself. And then after that, I review applications and I check it out to see how it works. And after that, the step is to hop on the phone and see, run through logistics, run through details, see if we're a fit, if we jive together. It's a bit like dating. It's like I check you out, you check me out, and we see if we're a love match, and we go from there. So I would love, if you're interested, please go ahead and click on that now. Take the time to do it. It's not a lot. It's maybe 10 questions, some of multiple choice, so it doesn't take that long. But I want you to like be real. If you fill out that application, I want you to really tune into your heart and to your soul when you answer these questions. I don't need you coming from your head. I need you to be really real so I can help you, okay? So if that sounds good, and we only have a limited number of spots, so don't wait, okay? If you need me to send me a message, I'm gonna stick my, you can hit reply to the email that was sent, and I'll get that message from you. And yeah, so that's it on that end. there is our next event's going to be next week on Wednesday, the 9th, and that's going to be it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yay! So, any questions, you can go ahead and pop them in the chat box. Lucy, can this be done online only? The group program is online, so we do stuff like this, except for there's like a group of you that we get to connect back and forth with. And then I also do in-person or, not in-person, excuse me, over the phone or Skype sessions. So that's how I work that way. My private coaching clients, I do something different with. And we can talk about that if that's something you're interested in. So you can shoot me an email. And then I would love to hear what you are bringing with you. As you're leaving class right now, we've connected to your soul purpose. If you are joining me, I'll be reading it in the application. Can't wait to read it. If not, I would love to hear what's coming up for you. Okay? So share, share, share. And with this, I'm sending you love. Yes, I love applications because then I get to know about you too. It's so much fun. It's like, you know what it is? It is a bit like dating. It's kind of like I haven't done online dating because I met my husband before the online dating thing happened, but I've helped my friends fill out like you know, profiles and stuff for Match or something like that. So it's a bit like that. You're welcome, Bron. You're welcome, Tez. And you guys had some crazy weather things going on over there. So soak all that in, that power that's headed your direction. You're welcome, Kitty. So happy to help connect you. And yeah, feel free to shoot me any questions you have, either about the program or about what came up for you. If you have questions about what came up during your visualization or how to integrate this into your life. Because we don't just want you to have some fun coloring, we want you to bring it into your life too. I love you. Love you, Kat. Have a great day tomorrow morning, in the morning, out in Australia. Love yous. Bye.